Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 10:27 a.m. on the 20th of March 2024. I've not long got out of bed. I slept until 10 and I'm feeling a bit exhausted still. And I noticed my hands, I can't quite see it, but my hands are all peeling. And that will be because I cleaned all my copper with very caustic chemical called rust converter, and I didn't use gloves. I didn't think it would matter too much, but now I have peeling skin, so probably explains why I felt so ill the last couple of days from all the toxic load as well. So silly me. But anyway, I'm soldiering on as per usual and eating chocolate for breakfast. I thought I have my regular debrief today with my psychiatrist. So I thought I'll quickly sneak a video in before I go and see him. Hopefully I have time. Time is of the essence, people of Earth. Making the most of every day. Had my hair done yesterday, so I'm looking quite lovely. I'm still in my nightie, but I don't care. I'll get dressed when I wanna. The joys of being a single woman living alone. You can do whatever you want, whatever. Yay! I've got Charlie outside in the garden. She hasn't been out in the garden for a few days. So she's out there singing away to some other birdie, living her best life. So everything's wonderful at Sacred Space. So I'm having to make videos on my laptop computer again because I've run out of storage on my iPhone, and I don't know, it usually gives you ways of configuring it and going about things, but it's playing up again. It's not doing what it should be doing, and I don't know how to get it to work, and it's just random and it's driving me nuts. So we'll make these videos on the laptop, and anyway, it works that way. It's not so bad. I just look more dead than normal because for some reason I can't get the colour to come up on the computer. So I look kind of awful, but I'm not actually this dead. I'm alive. I'm eating chocolate. I'm drinking tea. I'm making a video. What more do you want from me? More. So I'll finish off that chocolate so I can read to you with an empty mouth. I was still up a few times during the night to pee, but I got a long break between 12:30 and 10. That's a long sleep, the longest I've had in ages. So I should feel like a box of birds, but I'm still playing catch up and I'm still exhausted. But that new drug, solofenicin, is working because it's giving me longer periods of time between interruptions during the night, which is great. Hopefully it keeps going. Then I won't need the dangerous Botox. It's only dangerous to me because of the TBT tape and the fact that I have a tendency to die under a general anaesthetic as my lungs shut down. Oh look, here I am in colour again. It's like my laptop took out all the colour again. Flickered on and it flickered off. Wow. It's like the little gin in the machine listens in. Can you put colour back in my cheeks, please, laptop, so I look alive again? No, not going to do it now. It's weird, this machine. It's really weird. However, it was gifted to me by my beautiful friend Sally, so I'm very grateful, and I make do with it even though it's got its little quirks. It was an expensive machine when she bought it originally. It was a very good brand, but it's got a few little weird quirks that we can't do anything about now. A bit like me, isn't it? Isn't it? Love me, love my quirks. I tell you what, sometimes I think, how could anyone possibly deal with this level of quirkiness? But some people find me quite delightful, which is enchanting and sweet. So here we go. Memories. 20th of March 2024. Sending love to humanity and other psychobabble. And a photo from 2020. Socks just helped me eat teriyaki chicken flavoured chips. Now he's hanging around like a boss, even with Beauregard close by us. And here he is. I just love how he's draping over me like, you know, the most protective, loving, little loyal friend, draped over me on the couch. And he was very happy because he really liked chips. Didn't give him too many though, because they're not really good for pussycats, but he did like chippies. Beauregard liked chippies too. I think it's the salt they actually like more than anything else. 20th of March, and I'm getting scathing hot now. Right, can't be having that. One moment. Holy, that came on so suddenly, that hot flush. I was just literally talking about socks and then and this makes you wonder if it's spirit doing it. But no, I'm sure it's just menopause and weakness. But by the gods. Anyway, we carry on. 20th of March 2023. I have now discovered, pull my hair out, oh I'm so hot. I have now discovered my sore shin is swollen. I hope it's not sepsis. Sorry. Oh dear goddess. I felt fine when I began this video. I've been working hard on my jewellery projects, and yes, it hurts to stand too long. I noticed it while melting silver. But everything hurts these days. So I have been pushing through the pain barrier and my anxiety and my feelings of inadequacy. I hope this settles down, as hospitals are dangerous for me. They even lost my patient file at the QE2. They didn't lose it, trust me on that one. The malfeasant dogs. I just came back from a walk, dripping in sweat from the heat. So hopefully this is just a reaction to the heat and nothing serious. I actually posted a photo because you could see the big red welt coming across my leg. It's not blurred. Well, it doesn't show up as really red because, yeah, quite scary. I think that was the one I dropped furniture on, so the nerves must have been giving off various signals and throwing a wobbly, as my nervous system tends to do. Yoda number 2, making him as a birthday gift. Why has this popped up? Just had a pop up, sorry. Making him as a birthday gift for my friend Lynn. And this is my Yoda toy that I used as a mould for making my Yoda pendant. I made one for myself and one for Lynn. And for some idiotic reason, I had so much trouble making Lynn's. It took more attempts than the first one I made for myself. It's always the way, isn't it? When you really want to make something for someone else, everything freaking goes wrong. In the end, I was about to give her my one and give up on having a Yoda because I promised her one, you know. And anyway, I was very grateful when I finally got it to work, but by the gods, that was hard, really hard. But here's the thing, is I achieved it. This is showing him the failure where his ears didn't fall. Poor Yoda. He's not Yoda without his ears. Without his ears, he just looks like a really pissed off Shrek. So, anyway, I keep trying. I wrote under that, another fail. I think I did not have quite enough silver. Note the small button. I am a tad upset as I spent hours perfecting this mould, including carving the jump ring mould from a piece of haulite. 2:30 a.m, unable to sleep again, asthma playing up. I worked hard yesterday. I successfully cast the ring I had been working on and failing at that for the past week. I barely slept last night with trepidation that it might fail yet again. When it cast, I was so exhilarated with joy and triumph that I was dancing for joy in my garden. Then I spent the rest of the day until 8 p.m. filing and shaping it, cutting off the air vents, etc. I still have the sprue to cut. I fully expected to sleep well tonight, but alas no. I've already been up a few times to pee and let Bobo out. The pain in my left shin bone, which I hurt a few weeks ago, is really aching badly tonight. I really should get it x-rayed, but I have been advised to not have any more x-rays as it risks further damage to my bladder. So what can I do but struggle and hope it heals itself, which fortunately it did eventually settle back down. I hope this defiant, creative outburst of hypomanic delirium settles down soon. I am pushing myself far too hard. Something has got to give. I didn't go dancing this weekend, which means I was feeling really bloody unwell because I usually force myself out dancing unless I have a flu or something contagious. I usually force myself through my own pain thresholds. So I wrote, I didn't go dancing this weekend, and it was actually a good thing. Rest my legs and sore left foot and instead focused on my ring. I need to reserve my energies for people who actually value and appreciate me too, because the live wire bar was getting very toxic indeed, which I eventually stopped going there after their abuse on the 5th of August 2023. I do miss some of my friends there though, but not one of them has bothered to get in touch with me, so they weren't real friends, were they? After 13 years of dancing in that scene. and being envious and spiteful, and the few times men showed me any romantic overtures, by the way. It's sick and evil is what it was. But now, where I go dancing now, I get to dance wildly and triumphantly to the hard rock songs. And my friends in the band flirt with me occasionally just because we're alive and it's a bit of fun. And we all know it goes nowhere because they have partners. And I feel all, appreciated and adored and juiced up and sometimes a little bit horny babies, but shh, tap that down. And I go home alone to my bird and I think, it's not so bad, this life. One day I'll find the one that I can actually have a intimacy with, but predicated on truest, deepest love and good sex. One day. Probably will never happen, people. That's why it's nice to have somewhere to go where people actually are sweet to me and indulge me in my pathetic old lady quirkiness and, appreciate me for my wild shamanic dance, which, by the way, takes a great deal of my physical and spiritual and emotional energy. So they're benefiting from that. So, yes, fucking appreciate me. Just like you appreciate the musicians for their output, which is brilliant, they're brilliant musicians. Appreciate me for the energy I pour into that space too. Of course, the club and the staff are wonderful and they all appreciate me. I'm just talking in general about the general public that come there and, some of them have been a bit nasty in the previous month. I thought, oh, please, God, don't let this space go toxic too. Please, God, because I've been really enjoying it there for the last 7 months nearly. It's almost 7 months. So anyway, I guess the important thing is I don't need people to appreciate me really. I need to just have a safe environment where I can have fun and be myself and appreciate and value myself. And from there, everything flows beautifully. But no, there are a few people that come that, some of them knew me from the casino, have been coming recently, said good day, and I can see they're happy to see that I'm still strutting my stuff, just in a different space and where I am appreciated. I am appreciated. Thank you very much. Just went full circle on that. But I know I'm appreciated by the staff and the bands. I'm talking about the crazy drunk people who at the end of the day don't matter. So I don't even know why I said you need to appreciate me. I'm just talking about the energy that I pour into it, It leaves me quite depleted. I come home and I'm wrung out for 3 or 4 days after. And I do that quite willingly and by my own will and my own choice, because I need the exercise and the wild dance too, keep the soul body going a bit longer, but then I collapse into a, pile of old lady-itis and I have to restore my energy for the following week, So, public announcement. Mama T, Vatanya, aka me, is going to do the improbable and the impossible. I'm going to attempt 2 nights this weekend. I'll see how I feel on Friday. If I feel like shit, I may not. But I definitely have booked myself in for Saturday night. I've made a promise on that one. But I may put in an appearance on Friday night as well, as I normally do at the Brooklyn Standard. So that means 2 wild nights of dancing. So, man, I'll either build up stamina or I'll be a corpse on Sunday. Literally a corpse. Can I do it? Yes. Mind over matter, babies. I used to dance back in 2014, 15. I used to often do 3 or 4 nights. There was a time there when I was going out this was when I used to go to Irish Murphys in the old days before they turned into a cesspit of hell. I used to dance Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Friday and Saturday nights. That's 4 nights. And sometimes, if I was bored or lonely during the week, I would go out and dance again on the Sunday as well. That's 5 nights. But then I got more and more exhausted and more depleted, so I cut back to just the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I cut back. Oh, got an ant biting me. Go away, ant. Then I cut back to just Friday and Saturday, and then for the years now, probably 5 or 6 years, I've only done the one night, the Friday night, or Saturday night, depending on which night I felt I had motivation and energy to go to. So going back to 2 nights, by the gods, that's going to be intense. It'll be very intense, but anyway, but fun. I continue reading. 20th of March 2022. This is one of my favourite memes of all time, because I actually had a boyfriend years ago who was a druggie, and all his friends were drug takers, and they were all in various stages of degeneration. And I used to sit around judging them, right? Because I was macked out on all my psych meds and used to sit there like practically drooling myself on legal pharmaceuticals gifted to me by my government and Big Pharma. And at one time, my ex-boyfriend turned to me and he says, "You know, Tanya, I've been doing drugs since I was 15. I was like, "Yeah, Courtney." He says, "I've had a lot of fun on my drugs. How about you? You don't seem to be having any fun at all." Like, I should have punched him in the face, quite frankly, because it was very nasty and condescending. But it was actually true. And, you know, I will accept the truth. So I looked at him and I went, "No, Courtney, I'm not having any fun at all." And I went, "But you've got Korsakoff's and early onset dementia to look forward to since you fried your fucking brain. So trust me, there'll come a day when you won't be having fun either, you cunt." But anyway, I have to laugh because here we have it. It says, "Look at you. I told you to stick to weed, but you wanted to smoke crack and pop pills." And it's the guy with the really tiny shrunken head and the big shoulders. Every time I see it, it still makes me laugh. Because I actually knew people like that. Unfortunately for me, very unfortunate. He kept threatening to kill me towards the end with the early onset Korsakoffs. But anyway, I took it on board what he had to say to me on one level, because 6 years later, it took me that long. I mean, I had to go through my mother's death and the will dispute, 2.5 years of that, and then my suicide attempt and all that horror for me to finally realise the psych meds weren't actually healing me. They weren't doing shit for me. And I was going to have to reclaim my mind and get all my synapses all synapsing and all, everything, the neurons all clicking on, because I knew something really horrific was coming. I didn't know what it was exactly. But my words to my psychiatrist at the time was, I will need every scrap of my brain to be communicating with each other, because something really big's coming and I don't want to be locked off when that happens. And so he gave me permission to wean off, and it was supposed to take me 2 months to wean off. I was so determined I did it in a month. And that was cataclysmic, because all I did literally was shit and had hot and cold chills. It was like coming off I presume coming off opioids. I was very ill, but I got off all those psych meds and got my mind back. And now I'm having fun with my own mind, even though the spirits talk to me occasionally and I talk back. But, that was very helpful too, that I had my attunement to my spirit people, because that also saved my life. So you see, Courtney telling me you're not having fun on your psych meds was nasty, but was probably the best thing he ever did for me, because he planted the seed that I didn't need to be on them and they weren't doing me really any good at all. So 20th of March 2021, 12:17 a.m. Time to schluff, that means sleep, and give my poor beleaguered body a break if my brain lets me rest. Too many psychedelic dreams lately are spinning me on a non-existent dime. Let's dance the sublime, subliminal, and sleep long enough to cure the worst of my physical onslaughts. Enough already. So, yes. I posted another meme which I also found hilarious, because I actually do this. Pardon me. When you're decluttering your home and you get distracted by stuff you found. Oh, that's a journey in its own right, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Here's another one. I still have to practice getting better at this, because I tend to hold on to the past too much, and I'm frightened of change and frightened of changes in my routine. I've become very staid and old, but when it feels scary to jump, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise you end up staying in the same place your whole life. Nearly 21 years living in this house, but it's been my only safety and stability. It wasn't always safe here either, if the truth be known, but it's been my only stability, and so I've stayed here. And I had a suggestion by a younger woman named Elle last Friday night that I should buy a camper van, travel all over Australia, which is all very romantic and wonderful idea. I'd love to travel all over Australia, but the problem is, for me it would be destabilising and dangerous, so I'm scared to jump. Although I was in a lot of pain today with my back, I managed to grind down the key mechanism and paint it. Then bathed the dog, who actually really needed it and was compliant for a change. Then I cooked apricot chicken and mashed potatoes for dinner. Now I feel quite exhausted and weak, but I've pushed through the pain and got those few odd jobs done. Plus, did the dishes. I also laid down a collection of egg cartons in the back garden to help kill the weeds. So I just laid it down like cardboard. Worked quite well too. 20th of March 2020. 11:11 p.m. Make a wish. Let there be healing of our world. Let freedom be a precious gift and lifestyle for all sentient beings. Let love and honour and integrity, generosity and compassion hold their sway. Let laughter ring across all dimensions. Let there be comfort and more than enough for the marginalised and oppressed. Let those of us who slept Let those of us that should say walked. No, I kind of mix metaphors there. I'll read it as I wrote it. Let those of us who slept the zombie walk, arise and shine in our own divinity with harm to none. So what I should have said, who walked the zombie walk and slept. Anyway, it will do. It's poetic license. Let us dance in our spirit, in our hearts, in our bodies. Let us heal and bring out the light in each other. Let us be. 10:42 p.m. God, I'm thirsty. I guess I haven't had much to drink because I'm not allowed to drink after 7 p.m. and I've been up since 10 and I've only had 1 cup of tea. I'm thirsty. Anyway, it is what it is, people. 10:42 p.m. Tonight I wrap my arms like an eagle in deep love and reverence for all people, especially for the man I find myself mysteriously obsessing over for the past few days. Oh, you stupid woman. I'm so sick of that nonsense. That was my worst insanity, I think. Anyway. Unable to have contact because the slanderers and the vicious held their sway, and he could not abide my light or my fury. I get it. I once prayed to God for perfect alignment, but God has his own time frames and important gifts of life lessons, and sometimes fickle tests of hearts and minds. So I must send love in an often loveless paradigm. I can hear the screaming energetic signals from his spirit to mine, but in the physical, no contact, no trust. Too many games were played, and the Tanya must guard her heart indeed. So tonight I send out true and deep abiding love, also protection. He had his own lessons to endure, to stand in his own power. I'm bitten by an antigen. What the hell? I don't know where it comes from. But I cannot cut the energetic telepathy, and I find that a tad disconcerting, because believe it or not, as a witch, I cut cords many times, and each time they would just grow back, and they'd just grow, and I'd cut again. But I think it's finally, it took many years, but I think it's finally been released. Thank the goddess for that, because it was just emptiness and sadness and grief all the time. And then he pops up at red lights and, crossroads. I had to invoke Papa Legba, the voodoo god of the crossroad, to stop that from happening. And it didn't quite stop it because it popped up again last December around about Hanukkah time. It's weird, people, our soul connection, especially for a man who didn't want me and only ever put me down, spoke to me like shit most of the time. Like, why would you love something like that anyway? Like, I was right out of my mind. It's not normal. So that's another reason why I'm delighting in this beautiful male friend who speaks to me sweetly and kindly and honouringly, and I can see genuinely appreciates me and is kind to me, because I deserve that in life. Unfortunately, he's not available because he's married, but that's okay, I'm still enjoying the sweetness and the kindness because I haven't had a lot of that from men. They all want to have sex with me, throw their leg over and be abusive and vile, but it's rare that one's been genuine and heartfelt and kind and noble and decent. Very fucking rare. So, of course, I lose my mind a little bit over someone that's been sweet, and also part of my reptilian brain still thinks, well, when does the shoe fucking fall? Because in my lifetime, the shoe has always fallen, and usually not very long into the relationship either. So, but I'm continuously living my best life and dancing my wild shamanic dance and working in cooperation with this beautiful man, supporting his band as I've always done. I've been doing it for 13 years. It's only in the last year or so that he's showing me heartfelt intentions, because he's realised that I've been, loyally dancing and supporting not just his band but the other band as well for 13 years. It's a long time. It's a long time. And it's nice to feel appreciated and, valued at long last, especially after the way I was treated so abominably at the Life Bar Treasury Casino. Fucking animals they were, absolute animals. Waited till my dog died to kick me in the face, literally. Almost literally. Animals. So here we go. Mama T, with her lack of trust and her fear of being tortured yet again, based on real life experiences. It's hard for me to push myself out into the world. It really is. But I keep doing it as a matter of principle, that no bastard shall ever, ever grind me down. Here I continue to write. Will I have another attachment so potent that this man will also haunt me when he eventually passes, although he has stalked me enough in real world? Not in a threatening way, but awkwardly irritating at times. But then this world is never fully real or actualized. It's all just an illusion and some weird cosmic play. The older I get, especially in recent months with my very precarious health, the more I observe we're all still very much vulnerable and raw children, trapped in adult bodies, conscious of our own decay and impermanence, and starving to be witnessed, heard and acknowledged, if not validated. Sometimes we come out to play in delightfully whimsical ways, and other times we are just capriciously dangerous, like tantrum tossers with adult weapons and adult desires. I often long for a more innocent time, but my own childhood was pockmarked by so many predators that my nascent existence was hardly ever truly innocent, through no fault of my own. But I have retained my heart and soul, and even in recent years, Baruch Hashem and my worthy psychiatrists, my mind. I am becoming whole again. It is the most spectacular gift. I feel grateful and humbled and just astonished. But here we are, dancing through our pain and rejoicing in life in all its kaleidoscopic manifestations. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, life. Thank you to my enemies who inspired me to be anything but them. Thank you to my true friends, my small but determined, loving family members. Thank you for the breath. Thank you for the rebirthing of our planet. I am gifted great, great spirits in human form who truly see me, a family of heart and soul across the globe, an honour and a deep privilege. Crystal told me this afternoon that the government here in Brisbane has ceased feeding the homeless. I'm deeply worried. I don't have enough food to help my friends in the homeless community, and as the city is in shutdown, I am not even at the casino for my customary end of night chats, or joke, or at least a kind word, which is often my only contribution. So people of Brisbane, if you are out and about for any reason and you meet a homeless person anywhere on the streets, give them what you can. A kind word, a smile, enough for a meal, a cigarette. I was about to say a hug, but social distancing means we should not be too close to each other. That's been proven to be a load of bollocks, isn't it? Buy them a coffee, love each other, especially the homeless whose lives have already been hard and have nowhere to go and are often marginalised or spat on, especially the first to be punished in a time of crisis, as though mere basic survival for a fucking lifetime has not been punishment enough. I would be out on the streets right now if I had more food. Seriously. Also, winter is coming, literally. Shame, Brisbane. Shame. When I told my American friend, he was greatly distressed. He rightly pointed out that the next step will be busing all the homeless to some god-awful camp somewhere so they can quietly disappear from mainstream society. We as Jews know how that goes. If you can't protect the vulnerable, the poor and marginalised, then this society is no better than the Nazis, who were the worst virus that ever infested the world in the last century. Never forget. Love the broken, lest you too shall be broken. Love is the law. The Tanya has spoken. Tonight I'm feeling happy. I had a long chat with Michelle in America, another long chat with Lynn. I also was in touch with my daughter Crystal today, who has come down with a light fever so could not visit me, as she fears it might be coronavirus. But I feel very much loved, respected and supported and validated. La vie est belle. Oh, oh. Tonight's sunset was unusual, a layer of peach colour with rose on top. I did not stop to take a photo, but it was lovely. La vie est belle, but it is also en rose. In the style of the little sparrow, je ne regrette rien. I regret nothing. I do regret being lazy and not continuing my French studies though. Lol. Band cancelled at the casino tonight. Oh, 11:11 a.m. Make a wish, my darlings. Band cancelled at casino tonight, but better than getting sick. And my friend Morris replied, Phoenix Rising is showing their live stream tonight. I replied, they will be cancelled next week too. I rang the casino. Band's cancelled for at least the next 2 weeks. Mama T will have to dance alone to my own music. Morris put a crying face emoji. I wrote, don't cry, Morris. At least for once, I won't be making a damn fool of myself in full public view of all the drunks laughing my ass off. Then he put a laughing face, and I wrote, that's better, my friend. Every cloud has a silver lining. He replied, I think we have to keep 1 metre apart as well on the dance floor, so I guess you will be safe from many guys as well. And he put lots of laughing emojis because he knows how I flick off all the annoying drunk guys. So I laughed too, and I said, I always try to keep a safe distance, Morris. Lol. Indeed I do. Kellyanne wrote, Karate Club closed down, devastated. So this was when, they started with their draconian bullshit, right? All being proved to be just nonsensical, just controlling of the populations. Probably the craziest epoch I've ever lived through, to be honest. Very, very, still crazy out there, by the way. Very crazy. 20th of March 2019, which makes me even more grateful that I weaned off my psych meds in 2016 so I could navigate these times. If I'd been a munted down, drooling automaton, shuffling my way with my Parkinsonian, uncontrollable arm jerking and the whole kit and caboodle, I probably wouldn't be here, people. I wouldn't have survived this complete bullshit weirdness of the last 4 years. 20th of March 2019. Tonight is Purim, which is a Jewish holiday. While everyone is davening and dancing and drinking in celebration of our survival as a people, in gratitude to Queen Esther, an audacious, bodacious woman, this little Mama T will be blowing out her tuchus. Unfair. I was due to have a colonoscopy, people. But I celebrate my freedom and survival as a woman every weekend, so I won't be missing out on any revelry, just reveling in the revelations of my morbid, mortal fragility. Have a Hamantaschen or 300 for me. Enjoy, prosper, thrive, flourish. Love to all. Chag Purim Sameach. It was such a pretty day outside. 12:52 a.m. I just got out of bed as I have lain here since 11 p.m. unable to sleep. I figured I must be hungry as I have not eaten much yesterday. So I made a pot of semolina pudding. That was a bad idea, by the way. It was a very bad idea because my colonoscopy failed that time after all that prepping. Oh well. Oh well. Tomorrow I can't eat anything after midday as I start my prep for the colonoscopy on Thursday Arvo. So I decided in the middle of the night to fill my gut up with something substantial as it will all be eradicated tomorrow anyway. Also, I am exhausted as I have not slept well for a week, so food will hopefully settle me down for the rest of tonight. I am like a wild Viking berserker who must feed and sleep. I am like that. I'm still like that to this day. I have to eat well and have a full tummy or I can't sleep. Blech. I will get through the ordeal of tomorrow and Thursday. Oh dear Goddess. I have done this several times before, but by the gods, my body hates being regimented and purged and all that jazz. I spent the evening making bead curtains. I have kept busy all week doing this, to try to keep my anxiety and distress about medical interventions and invasions of my body at bay. All good. It weirded out Charlie having me working in his bedroom each evening. He is not used to me being in his space at night. He made lots of unusual whistles and calls. I bet he is sleeping well now that I have retreated to my own bedroom. Anyway, Lila Tov must try to get some kip. And, yes, I carry on. 20th of March 2018. I'm lying in my hammock, this time attached to the hammock stand. The sun is shining through the foliage of the golden rain tree. It is in flower, and I'm quietly watching bees gathering their pollen. It's not in flower this time yet. Odd. Thinking about it, it should be flowering. All of nature's confused at the moment. Charlie is chewing bark and muttering to himself as he clambers all around the tree. I watched 2 episodes on Gaia about letting go and contentment in yoga practice, non-attachment to the world's chaos and stress, to human cruelty and fickle ellipses, to continuance, to rectification, to peace. I am loved. It is enough. Life is joyous and beautiful. I am free to manifest all my most cherished dreams and desires with harm to none by the will of God and the Tanya. Insert witchy giggle here. Still exhausted after the weekend. Still in intensive self-care after busting out like a firecracker. Still proud of myself and how far I have come on my journey. Very proud of myself, actually. Hopefully, not much longer to go until I reach my personal nirvana in whatever form that God co-creates for and with me, and all with me. Grateful, blessed, happy woman here. Ouch! My hammock ropes just snapped and I was thrown down to the ground. Fuck it. Funnily enough, I was looking at them last week thinking they could go at any time. Too stupid to check them for extreme wear, but psychic enough to know I would snap my back, laughing my ass off. The Tanya is a fricking idiot in more ways than one, darlings. Update, 20th of March 2022. Laughing my ass off. Precognitive klutziness. It's pretty bad when your psychic mind tells you, those hammock ropes are looking a bit dodgy. Do you think you should replace them? And you go ahead and lay in it anyway, and then it breaks. It's like, well, you were warned, doofus brains. But yes, next time when I start having those kind of tendrils floating out into the ether, I might actually take notice and take action. But, slow learner people. 20th of March 2017. My lovely dragon fruit dropped all her flowers again. So my friend Julie said, "Too much water?" I replied, "Either too old or not enough iron. She dropped her flowers before the big wet happened. I'm really disappointed." She replied, "It could well be a pollination issue. Some pitayas are self-pollinating and some require pollen from another pitaya to set fruit. Try growing another plant nearby and see if this helps." Yes, thinking the same. It had lots of native bees. But it is only plant. Huh? Oh, I meant, but it is the only plant. "What the?" Rachel replied. "Mine are flowering. Sure hope I get fruit. Will be the first time. Mine are the red ones. Which colour are yours, Tanya?" I said, "Red ones with white flesh." And then I posted a photograph of a beautiful, beautiful sunset. I do love sunsets. '20th of March 2016. Some days, like today, after dealing with trolls on child sexual abuse issues, I can't help thinking that some people no longer deserve to be alive or walk among us. It is disturbing and sickening to be subjected to such perverted attitudes towards girls, women and male children. No one is safe while this pervasive, insidious culture of rape, sodomy, molestation is allowed to persist and even glorified. I am on the verge of becoming a vigilante. Just be grateful I don't know how to shoot or buy or own a gun. Indeed, be grateful I have mixed vision, which I discovered when I took up archery. So I'd have to shoot left-handed to have the better vision, and oh dear God, I can't be bothered. I'm not that kind of vigilante. I fight with words and with energy, people. I don't need weapons. I'm a very powerful spirit. So, and I've been fighting on this issue for many years to the point I became quite exhausted and depleted by it all. So I stopped because at the end of the day, I need young ones to take up the baton and fight now. But everyone's so compliant with everything. See also the last 4 years. Just bend over and just take it. Instead of fighting for your body autonomy, fighting to preserve your children, fighting for their safety, fighting. Did I mention fighting? Sick to death of violence. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but seriously, enough already. 2 million children being sold into child sex slavery every year around the globe. It's still going on, people. It's heinous, and something has to stop it. It's just evil beyond belief. But on a happy note, here's me with my bow. "4 p.m. Awake. Fish pond still full. Phew. My beautiful childhood friend from Caulfield Primary School is coming to Brisbane with his son and partner. They arrive on my birthday. I'm so excited. Oh my God, it has been several years since I last saw her. What a lovely surprise to wake up to. I slept from 6 a.m. I had a wonderful weekend dancing. My chest is still shitty, but getting better. I have one antibiotic left, considering whether to get a second course. I have fed the fish and let the chooks out. Chooks means my hens, my chickens. Bobo is enjoying being up for the afternoon. It is a lovely, pleasant, cool afternoon. I must have slept through the heat again. So quiet in the neighbourhood. 4:30 a.m. Came home from a great night of dancing to discover my large fish pond almost empty and the connection to the fountain snapped off. Bloody furious, as the pump is only a month old. I suspect someone vandalised it actually. It doesn't just snap off by itself. I have spent the last 45 minutes refilling the pond so my fish don't die and trying to fix the pump fountain connection. It looks like someone has snapped it off. This does not explain where all the water went. So I turned the pump off in the hope that the water level will stay at the top while I sleep. I should just take the piece of shit back to Bunnings. AquaPro must have changed the design, as I don't recall having this much trouble before. I can't afford an Oase, which is a better brand which lasted 7 years when I owned my own home. Looks like I'll be saving up for one, as I'm done with this shit. I was lucky my prize fish was still swimming in 2 inches of water. A few more hours and they would have died. I hope no one came on my property and deliberately vandalised the pump. That is just nasty. I suspect that's what happened. Things don't just snap by themselves, people. 20th of March 2014. I had a nice day in spite of the incessant humidity. Creature invited me over for a lovely dinner. This was when we were friends, mind you. When I used her proper name. Not worthy of being named, it's just a thing. And we watched Hauntings Australia, which I thoroughly enjoyed. 4:28 a.m. Still awake and all is well, smiley face. I might attempt sleep or I will be back. 20th of March 2011. I am astonishingly exhausted after living through extremely turbulent times on several fronts in my life. I took Miss Bella Rosa for a trip to Meadowlands Dog Park and we had a pleasant time and I chatted quite merrily to strangers, as is my wont. Then we came home. I literally sat on my couch, tried to flick on the TV, but was shocked and horrified to find it no longer working. Then, in the next instant, passed out on my couch and slept for 3 hours. What's with that, man? I mean, I was not even feeling particularly tired at the time. 20th of March 2009. Oh, my cheek is still sore from the injection in the back molar. Otherwise, I had a great day. And thus concludes my readings of Even Date. Have a beautiful day, people of Earth. Stay safe, stay sane, stay in love with your truly loving friends, family, lovers, partners. Stay in love with planet Earth and remember, as always, never, ever let the bastards grind you, me, us down. Big agape love to you all. Have a beautiful day, people.